Athens, how did the cradle of democracy come into being? The story of a city that dared to believe. Ordinary people deserved a voice. When democracy did not yet exist. Today, we are familiar with the idea of democracy. Elections. Parliaments. Political debate. But more than 2,500 years ago, there was nothing in the world called the power of the people. Societies were ruled by kings, aristocrats, or tyrants. And then, in a small city-state on the shores of the Aegean Sea, a dangerous question was asked. What if the people ruled themselves? The place where that question was first spoken aloud was Athens. Athens before democracy, a city on the edge. Before democracy, Athens was far from ideal. Society was deeply divided. Land was controlled by aristocrats. Poor farmers borrowed money just to survive. Failure to repay debts meant being sold into slavery. An Athenian citizen could become a slave on his own land. Injustice spread. Anger built up. Athens faced three possible paths. Civil war. The rise of a tyrant. Or, a path never tried before. At this critical moment, the Athenians chose reform. Solon, the man who opened the first door. The man chosen to save Athens, was not a warrior, but a lawgiver. His name was Solon. Solon did not overthrow the aristocracy, nor did he hand all power to the poor. Instead, he did something unprecedented. He cancelled debts. He outlawed the enslavement of Athenian citizens for debt. For the first time in Athens' history, personal freedom was protected by law. Citizenship was no longer entirely determined by birth. Solon laid the foundation for a radical idea. The law must stand above all individuals. Athens was not yet a democracy. But the door had been opened. The shadow of tyranny. After Solon, Athens remained unstable. Power fell into the hands of a tyrant, Pisistratus. He ruled through force, yet also brought order. What mattered most was this. The Athenians realized. They did not want to live forever under the shadow of a single powerful man. When tyranny collapsed, Athens stood before a chance to be reborn. Cleisthenes, the father of Athenian democracy. The man who seized that opportunity was Cleisthenes. Cleisthenes understood one crucial truth. As long as power was based on family bloodlines, Athens would fall back into the same old cycle. So he did something revolutionary. He broke aristocratic power. Citizens were reorganized by place of residence, not lineage. The rich and poor, farmers and merchants were mixed together. He empowered citizens. He created the Council of 500. Every free male citizen had a chance to participate in government. He invented a safeguard against dictatorship. Ostracism, voting to exile anyone who became too powerful. For the first time in history, the people were not merely well governed. They governed themselves. The public square, the heart of democracy. Athenian democracy did not live in palaces. It lived in the public square, the agora. There, a potter argued with an aristocrat. A soldier challenged a politician. Every citizen had the right to speak. Not everyone was wise. Not every decision was correct. But Athens believed. The mistakes of the many are better than the certainty of a tyrant. Pericles, the golden age of democracy. Athenian democracy reached its peak under Pericles. Pericles expanded democracy. He paid citizens for political participation. He allowed the poor to serve the state. Athens became a center of philosophy, a center of art, a center of politics. Democracy was no longer just a system of laws. It became Athens' greatest source of pride. The limits of Athenian democracy. But remember, women had no rights. Slaves had no rights. Foreigners had no rights. Athenian democracy was not perfect. Yet it set a dangerous precedent for every dictatorship that followed. Power does not have to belong to one person. An idea that could not be killed. Athens declined. Athenian democracy collapsed. But the idea did not die. It passed through Rome, through the Middle Ages, and became the foundation of the modern world. Democracy was not born from peace. It was born from crisis, conflict, and courage. And Athens, a small city-state, dared to place its faith in humanity itself.